I am but a mere shadow in the entertainment industry, having adhered steadfastly to the green tea persona meticulously crafted by my agency since signing my contract. Alas, after 8 years in the industry, I still find myself regarded as a newcomer. By a twist of fate, a conversation with my close friend accidentally became public. Our exchanges, typically unrefined and laden with double entendres, were shockingly candid. Little did I anticipate that such an embarrassing incident would breathe new life into my languishing career. I sent that male idol be just a fool? Who on earth would want to stir up a CP with him? He's all fluff and no substance, while I exude far more masculinity. Tansey's lips truly look delectable. I am genuinely in awe of the top-tier idol C. Their lip-syncing has reached a level of artistry. I, the nightingale of the domestic entertainment sphere, am compelled to support their pretense. Tansey's lips are indeed as soft as I remember. It turns out that when fame is at stake, one can genuinely laugh out loud. Having clout is a boon, allowing one to forgo memorizing lines. Just a glance is enough. With a mere utterance, the entire set can hear the flow of Idol A counting down, indulging in such bad habits. After toiling all night over my lines, they are discarded without a second thought. Insanity. Even now, I can vividly recall the taste of Tansey's lips. With the exposure of our chat, within 10 minutes, I soared to the top of trending searches. How soft are Tansey's lips? What do they taste like? The second trending topic read, disaster. Westlake Longjing has turned into spicy hot pot. 1. The green tea persona was an image the company meticulously crafted for me, and I maintained it with remarkable success, enduring criticism each time I stood before the camera. Some media outlets even remarked, if you were to toss 2cc into Westlake, the entire nation could savor premium Longjing tea. As I found myself trending once more due to my green tea remarks, I had just finished recording for a variety show. In the lounge, I eagerly pulled out my phone to vent to my friend, completely oblivious to the camera still diligently capturing everything behind me. Thus, our conversation was broadcast in its entirety, exposing even my alternate Weibo account. In less than 10 minutes, my secondary account amassed millions of views. Upon seeing a message from my manager, I instinctively turned, only to find the green light of the camera glaring back at me. With a resounding crash, my phone hit the floor, and a singular thought consumed me. This is the end. The content of my Weibo account rivaled Lin Dayu pulling at the willow branches, devoid of any green tea references, yet far more scandalous than Tansey's downfall. It was a stark contradiction, a vast chasm between appearance and reality. Regaining my composure, I hastily deleted the post, tears streaming down as I mourned the imminent demise of my artistic career. However, the speed at which modern netizens screenshot far surpassed that of 5G. Before I could erase everything, those explosive comments had already spread across the internet. As I wept for my bleak future, my manager delivered an ultimatum. 2cc, your own downfall is one thing, but don't drag Tansey down with you. The company wants to terminate your contract. A sense of finality washed over me. I quickly opened the image she sent, a real-time screenshot of the trending list on Weibo. The top trend displayed an overwhelming explosive label beside it. How soft are Tansey's lips? What do they taste like? My hand faltered, and once again, my phone clattered to the ground. My face drained of color. It was over. My decade-long secret crush on the acclaimed actor Tansey could no longer be concealed. Previously, I had stumbled upon a stroke of luck, landing the role of Tansey's white moonlight in a drama. Though my scenes were minimal, they included several intimate moments. Initially, Tansey and Lin Sairu became a sensational CP through this series, allowing my infamy as a green tea character to fade into the background. During filming, I often found myself too engrossed, nearly losing control. The hidden excitement within me, filled with illicit thoughts, could only be expressed to my close friend through my alternate Weibo account. Who would have thought that my comment on set, the scenes with my brother are so captivating, I'm quite invested and nearly lost control, would lead to such backlash from CP fans? Under pressure, the production team drastically reduced my already scant scenes. While I paid little heed to the vitriol online, after sharing the screen with Tansey, I found myself unable to forget his lips, which were truly irresistible. Thus, I repeatedly reminisced on my alternate account, unable to shake the memory of how delightful they were to kiss. I could never have anticipated that my private lewdness would be laid bare under the glaring sun. What difference does it make from defecating in public? The trending topic quickly spiraled into a frenzy of comments, with 9 out of 10 denouncing me, and the remaining 1 reveling in the chaos. Has 2cc never encountered a man before? How can she fantasize for so long over a mere kiss during filming? While that may be true, a man like Tansey, after a kiss, One would certainly reminisce for at least half a lifetime. What kind of character is this? Does Tu Jiao Jiao intend to indulge in fantasies about every male artist she collaborates with? Even as a casual onlooker, I find this behavior utterly disgusting. It feels as though Tan Si has been sullied. I wonder how Tan Si feels about this now. He will likely carry a shadow of this experience into future shoots. Poor baby must be utterly repulsed by that duplicitous woman, Tu Jiao Jiao. Upon reading those derisive remarks, I initially brushed them off, but then a lump formed in my throat. Indeed, Tan Si must have seen the words I posted from my alternate account, and he is bound to despise me. Just as this thought crossed my mind, a call came in. Tan Si was on the line. I hastily shut my phone and tossed it aside. I simply couldn't bear to confront him. To safeguard Tan Si's image from my tarnished reputation, the company and my agent took decisive measures to suppress the controversy. Meanwhile, I was sent to a hotel by my assistant, who ordered me to remain confined until the situation was resolved. My agent promptly issued an urgent statement for my main account, asserting that the company had been completely oblivious to my alternate account's activities. My conversation with my close friend had effectively cemented my image as a duplicitous individual. Thanks to timely public relations efforts, the incident's intensity began to wane after the crucial 48 hours. The agency's actions spared both them and Tan Si from significant repercussions, while I, already infamous, faced even harsher criticism. After several days in the hotel, I was tasked with handling the agency's lawsuit for contract termination while also fulfilling my pre-existing commitments. My constant worry about Tan Si's perception of me drained me emotionally. After hiding away for a week, I finally ventured out early one morning for a scheduled appearance. My phone was inundated with missed calls from Tan Si and an overwhelming number of unread messages, which I dared not check. I wished to retreat into my shell like a snail, delaying the inevitable confrontation for as long as possible. However, today was dedicated to promoting the drama I had collaborated on with Tan Si, and despite my trepidation, I had to face him. After all, the contract had been signed, and failing to attend would incur hefty penalties. Yet, to my astonishment, the vehicle awaiting me in the hotel parking lot was a top-tier luxury van. Surely, this vehicle is not meant to send me off to my doom. I hesitantly pointed at the car, questioning its purpose. My agent rolled her eyes dismissively, ignoring my concerns and pushing me toward the vehicle. I clung to the nearby pillar, apprehensive about boarding, having just committed such a grave error. And with ongoing discussions regarding contract termination, how could they possibly allow me to ride in such a lavish car? Everything felt amiss. And I couldn't shake the dark thoughts that flitted through my mind regarding the industry's underbelly, fearing the company intended to send me to appease some powerful figure, draining my remaining value before severing ties. My dear, we've known each other for years. Surely there must be some semblance of affection between us. You can't just stand by and watch me ruin my future. Cece, be quiet. If you could perform as well on set as you do now, you would have already skyrocketed to fame. Enough chatter. We're running late. Get in the car now. My inherently suspicious nature sensed something was off, and I suggested we ride bicycles instead. I looked at my agent with tear-filled eyes, panicking. Just then, before she could scold me again, the car door opened slowly. I found myself face-to-face with Tan Si's gentle smile, instantly quieting my anxiety. Before lowering my gaze, I instinctively glanced at his lips, which today bore their natural rosy hue, appearing vibrant and healthy. Senior, please get in. This is my car. Tan Si extended his hand toward me. I was at a loss, too timid to accept his invitation. Inside the car, despite the air conditioning set to a low temperature, I felt an unsettling warmth enveloping me. Senior, there's no need to be so formal. Just call me brother like before. Tan Si's soothing voice calmed my racing heart. He was a student of my mother and her prized pupil. Since his enrollment, he had been a notable figure, and upon my return from abroad in my first year of high school, I had developed an infatuation with this charismatic senior. My mother was his homeroom teacher for 3 years and also his calligraphy instructor. Occasionally, when he came over to study, my mother would invite him to stay for dinner, during which he would also tutor me. However, communication between us was rare, primarily because he exuded an aloof demeanor, and my secret feelings rendered me too anxious to engage him in conversation. By nature, I was not one to be taciturn. My mother had even teased me in front of Tan Si, saying, "Only a C can keep this little firecracker in check." After spending a few years abroad with her father, her temper has only grown. My dear mother remained blissfully unaware that her 16-year-old daughter had developed a crush on her esteemed student. He was 2 years my senior, and though I had called him brother during our school years, He had since gone off to university in a different city after the college entrance exams and eventually entered the entertainment industry, making our encounters exceedingly rare. Consequently, we had grown more estranged. Nevertheless, his relationship with my mother remained as close as ever. She often mentioned that whenever he had the time, he would visit her. But each time, circumstances conspired against us. I was either in school or busy with work. "Brother, I'm so sorry for dragging you into this mess," I said. Tansy gazed at me intently, his confusion evident. He had been somewhat nearsighted since school, unable to wear contact lenses due to sensitivity, and after entering the entertainment industry, his agency forbade him from wearing glasses in public to maintain his image. Thus, when he spoke to someone, he would instinctively lean in closer or fixate his gaze intently, exuding a deep and affectionate demeanor. Yet, as one prominent female star in the industry remarked, when a male celebrity looks at you intently, it feels as if even a dog is gazing at you with affection. I swallowed hard. Regaining my composure, I could not allow myself to be deluded. "About that incident on Weibo." "Oh, that. I've been trying to reach you since the night it happened, but you never answered, nor did you respond to any of my messages." He smiled softly, raising his phone to indicate its state. "You wouldn't believe it, but my phone just malfunctioned." Tansy's expression made it clear he was unconvinced. Just as I was about to elaborate further, a sudden break caused me to lurch forward. Tansy, quick on his feet, caught me by the waist. I was wearing a dress that exposed my midriff, and his warm palm made direct contact with my skin, devoid of any fabric barrier. Startled, I hurriedly repositioned myself, escaping his grasp. "Are you all right?" he asked. I quickly nodded, indicating I was fine, though I could feel my cheeks burning. Thankfully, to mask my pallor, I had applied a thick layer of foundation today, making it difficult to discern my blush. Otherwise, the embarrassment would have been even more pronounced. The driver turned his head, his expression awkward. Shortly thereafter, the agent in the passenger seat also turned to inquire with a smile. "Lincio is flagging us down. She wishes to join us." This promotional event was for an S-class program, and all the principal members of the cast were expected to attend. In truth, we were less than 10 minutes from the studio, and Lincio had initially been in her own vehicle. However, in a bid to create buzz with Tansy, she had deliberately disembarked at this location and leaked her schedule to her fans, resulting in a throng of supporters gathering around us. I explicitly stated this was not permitted. Although Tansy was known for his unflappable demeanor within the industry, his irritation and displeasure were palpable at this moment. However, given Lincio's temperament, the agent, looking conflicted, hesitated before suggesting, "Moreover, this aligns with the promotional strategy. Once the campaign concludes, she won't have the chance to intrude again." As he spoke, the agent opened the car door. Lincio's delicate face appeared, but upon spotting me inside the vehicle, her expression instantly soured. "What are you doing here?" As she entered the vehicle, she deliberately shifted her body to expose me to the prying eyes of the camera outside. Little did she anticipate that even the darkened visage of Tansy would be laid bare. I boarded the car first, leaving Lincio to occupy the rear seat, enveloping us in an atmosphere thick with awkwardness. The moment she settled in, she eagerly reached out to converse with Tansy, not sparing me even a fleeting glance. The tension in the air was palpable. It had been ages since I had encountered such a grand spectacle. Tansy, with an impassive expression, turned his gaze to the window. "It's not like it's your first time on a variety show. If anyone should be nervous, it ought to be she." His reference to me momentarily stunned the occupants of the car, but Lincio quickly regained her composure, casting a sidelong glance my way. "That's true. After all, having just suffered such a significant embarrassment, it's only natural to be anxious about appearing on an S program. Be cautious, or you might find some netizens tracking you down to berate you." What does that sister mean? Is she reveling in my misfortune? I thought she was kind-hearted. Yet here she was, making snide remarks like everyone else. I gazed at Lincio with feigned innocence. According to the persona crafted by the company, I had long since become accustomed to playing the role of the irritating green tea in front of outsiders. Upon hearing her words, the driver nearly lost control of the steering wheel, almost crashing us into the greenery. Even our usually stern manager couldn't suppress a chuckle. "Too she. What do you mean by that? Who are you trying to disgust?" Lincio's face flushed crimson with anger. Clearly, her makeup was thinner than mine, revealing her inability to conceal her emotions. "Tansy, don't you think women like her are rather pretentious?" He shrugged nonchalantly. She is right. What are you so gleeful about? Are you truly looking forward to seeing her get lambasted?" Lincio, unwilling to concede, fell silent in a huff. though I could see her face growing even redder. Mischievous. Noticing that the oblivious one had finally quieted down, Tansy affectionately ruffled my hair. I felt my cheeks flush furiously. Such a gesture was excessively affectionate. Fortunately, we had arrived at our destination, and this peculiar atmosphere in the car was finally coming to an end. For this episode, our manager had already discussed with the production team not to mention the recent incident during the show. Yet, the glances directed at me were still tinged with peculiarity. But then again, in the entertainment industry, maintaining a facade is the most fundamental skill. Although I could sense the underlying tension, at least no one would put me in an uncomfortable position. As per the pre-show arrangements, Tansy and Lin Seo had numerous intimate interactions to perform. Who could have anticipated that the moment the recording commenced, he would catch everyone off guard? During the partner selection segment, Tansy walked directly up to me and decisively chose me. The audience was left in stunned silence, while the murmurs of discontent from the crowd echoed incessantly. What was supposed to be a sweet interaction between the male and female leads had morphed into a convoluted narrative of the male lead entangled with his former love, unable to forget her. To everyone's astonishment, Tansy and I showcased an impressive rapport, answering questions in the game with remarkable speed and accuracy. Seizing a moment of respite during the game, he leaned in close to my ear, whispering words of praise. "You're much smarter than you were in school." My heart raced, and as I instinctively turned to look at him, our noses nearly brushed, our eyes locking in an intense gaze. The proximity was overwhelming. I quickly stepped back, causing Tansy's ears to flush a deep shade of red. Lin Seo, not having been chosen by the male lead, was forced to partner with the second male lead. Throughout the recording, she wore a scowl, her emotions palpable, and managed to answer not a single question. When the game concluded, she stood on stage, tears streaming down her face in frustration. The host, taken aback by the unexpected scene, found himself at a loss for words. The director, from below, could only awkwardly usher us minor actors off the stage, diverting the remaining time and focus to the main characters. As I descended from the stage with the others, I unexpectedly encountered the top-tier idol C5, the very one I had criticized for lip-syncing to my best friend. "To Shishi, tell me, who is the lip-syncing male you were bemoaning with your friend? It can't possibly be me, right?" He leaned in playfully, teasingly. Given the state of my reputation, already tarnished by my secondary account, and the numerous explosive revelations from my chats with my friend, I was reluctant to engage further. Yet, he persisted. "Honestly, your poor reputation is well-deserved. You're so foul-mouthed, daring to speak ill behind others' backs." His relentless barrage of insults grew increasingly caustic, and my silence seemed to only embolden him further. At last, I could bear it no longer. "Yes, the top-tier artist I was referring to is you. You constantly brag about being a graduate of an internationally renowned music academy, a pioneer in pop music, blessed with a voice kissed by angels. The most absurd part is that your fans actually believe you, even proclaiming you as the luminary of the Chinese music scene. With such audacity, how can you still engage in lip-syncing? You can't even hit the right notes without autotune, practically begging for a voltage boost. Did you think Pikachu's Thunderbolt would suffice for you?" After signing the contract, my manager had repeatedly warned me to maintain my persona and never reveal my true nature upon debut. Yet, in that moment, I felt a reckless urge to shatter the facade. What kind of fool would dare to flaunt their superiority in front of me? If they didn't witness firsthand what a firecracker I could be, they might genuinely believe I was easy to bully. Even with electronic music cranked to the max, one could hear the off-key notes. How could this effeminate man shamelessly market himself as a talented artist? "I was venting about you, so what?" As I finished my tirade, the air around us thickened, the backstage falling into an eerie silence. It was then that we both realized our microphones were still live, meaning our conversation had been broadcasted to both recording venues. In other words, I was utterly doomed. My career in the entertainment industry was over. Even the top-tier hosts from both shows were at a loss for how to salvage the situation. This was a disaster that couldn't be rectified. The man I had scolded stood before me, tears welling in his eyes, clearly unaccustomed to being chastised after years of being coddled. "Why are you being so fierce?" The recording concluded. Originally, I had overshadowed Lin Seo with Tansy's presence, and the recording process had been riddled with mishaps, culminating in my outburst backstage. Lin Seo, fuming, chose not to board Tansy's vehicle and stormed off on her own. As for me, fearing the wrath of the top-tier fans, I blended into the crowd, planning to exit through the back door. To my surprise, that luxurious van once again halted in front of me. The window rolled down, revealing Tansy smiling and waving at me from within. A wave of despair washed over me as I cautiously glanced around at the curious onlookers, hastily scrambling into the car. Once I settled in, the driver swiftly accelerated away. It's all right. The online uproar will soon fade. The entertainment industry is rife with incidents. And this is just a drop in the ocean. Sensing my despondency, Tansy offered words of comfort. Since his high school graduation, our encounters had become scarce. And after celebrating my acceptance into university with a meal, we had not seen one another for several years. In truth, your secondary account reflects your true personality. Your ranting today was quite genuine. I cast a surprised glance at Tansy, realizing he must have recognized my secondary account. Oh, don't misunderstand. I've always regarded you as an older brother, idolizing you without any ulterior motives, I stammered, flustered at the thought of him perceiving me as lewd or disgusting. So you don't genuinely enjoy kissing me? He squinted slightly, leaning in closer. I was so flustered that I forgot how to breathe. How could he be so direct in his inquiry? Tansy's expression darkened, resembling a predator ready to pounce. I offered a tentative apology. I was just speaking off the cuff. I didn't mean those words. You are the future of the film industry, the youngest best actor. How could I dare? His serious demeanor made me feel as if I might as well commit seppuku an apology. I sincerely apologize for dragging you into this matter. I regret any trouble my careless words may have caused you. I promise to be more cautious in the future and assure you that I will never harbor any improper thoughts towards you. As I offer my contrite apologies and fervently swore to do better, I noticed that Tansy's expression grew even darker. He frowned, appearing visibly pained, and interrupted me, urging me to hasten my silence. His discomfort seemed to suggest a deeper issue, causing me to panic. Had I truly upset him to the point of affecting his heart? My heart sank further as I feared he might loathe me, and that my thoughtless remarks would lead to our parting forever. Noticing the tears welling in my eyes, Tansy chuckled softly. I haven't scolded you. Why are you on the verge of tears? He then inquired about the confession I had mentioned on the day of my college entrance exam, asking if he knew the person. Stunned by the swift change of topic, I gazed at him in bewilderment. You probably do, I replied hesitantly. Tansy furrowed his brow in contemplation. So, did you succeed? Are you two together now? A wave of melancholy washed over me as I cast a fleeting glance at his handsome features, replying bitterly, No, we are not. He pondered for a moment before asking, Do you still have feelings for him? I like him very much. Always have, I confessed, unaware of the turmoil on Tansy's face. He seemed about to press for more information when his phone rang, a call from his agent urging him to hurry to the airport. He needed to return to the film set to complete the remaining scenes of the movie he was currently shooting. Why don't you come home for a few days if you're not working? The teacher misses you. I will visit you once I finish this film. He gently instructed, reminiscent of a husband reassuring his wife before departing on a long journey. By the time I regained my composure, his luxurious vehicle had already driven away, leaving me blushing and fluttering back to my room. After staying in the hotel for a few days, my mind was consumed with the words Tansy had spoken to me, entangled in the confusion of whether he might have feelings for me as well. Yet, the opinions of internet users were indifferent to my musings. During my reverie, calamity struck once more. I found myself furiously denouncing Top Star C for lip-syncing, as videos and audio clips circulated widely. With my innocent, fresh-faced appearance, I unwittingly uttered the most vicious remarks, bringing the top male star to tears. Observing the situation, it resembled a scene of bullying within the entertainment industry, with no chance of redemption in sight. As darkness enveloped me, I contemplated whether I should flee abroad to escape the storm, for the fervent fans of Top Stars were not to be trifled with. Trembling, I scrolled through the comments, but to my surprise, there weren't many insults directed at me. The discussion was surprisingly lively. Is that you, Shio, or? Doesn't anyone think that Tushi's insults are incredibly entertaining? That makes perfect sense. Top Star C is merely inflated by those brainless fans, lacking genuine talent. This isn't the first time he has faced accusations of lip-syncing. The pure little green tea has quite the venomous tongue. Such a delightful contrast. Isn't it? I can't stop laughing. To be honest, that guy has terrible public appeal. He can't sing and acts pretentious. He has no right to complain when he gets called out. That so-called internationally renowned music academy was merely a gilded facade. It had some merit in the past, but now, its reputation is tarnished, and those in the know understand. It's like some domestic products from years past, exported, then sold back home for a profit. Tushi's criticisms are spot on. Could it be true? At last, justice seemed to shine upon me. I continued scrolling through the comments, grinning from ear to ear. To be honest, Tushi Shu and T have established a green tea persona. Although she appears to be one, her true character is far more likable. As I observed my fanbase growing, the public perception began to shift positively. No wonder my agent hadn't called to scold me during my hotel stay. They were likely waiting to gauge the online sentiment. When I signed my contract, I explicitly stated my short temper and inability to tolerate provocation. My agent informed me that many in the industry had poor tempers, but they maintained a facade in front of the camera. If one could master the art of pretense, all would be well. Thus, she crafted a green tea persona for me based on my appearance, steering me toward a path of black-red fame to first break into the industry and then reverse my reputation. It was precisely because I had suppressed my feelings for so long that I resorted to venting on a secret account, sharing my frustrations with my close friends without holding back. The entertainment industry is indeed a remarkable place, allowing artists to speak their minds. I reveled in the joy of my reputation's turnaround while at the hotel, but before I could fully bask in it, the tide turned once more. The promotional variety show we recorded previously aired, and riding on the drama's popularity, Lin Seo accidentally liked a post titled "What to Do When Your Boyfriend is Surrounded by Green Tea," which quickly gained traction. Due to the previously improved perception from my video, I plummeted to new lows, facing even harsher criticism. To make matters worse, a photo of me circulated online. I appeared innocent and demure while exuding an overwhelming mistress vibe, sitting in the nanny van. Lin Seo stood outside the car, looking shocked and heartbroken, while the figure inside, barely discernible, was undoubtedly Tansy. Just because of one photograph, the tide of public opinion turned against me once more, maliciously branding me as the third party. Lin Seo didn't clarify the situation until the event had escalated, claiming she had accidentally liked the post without noticing the title. Oh wow. Poor Lin Seo. The lead actress in a drama promotion can't even secure the C position? My heart aches for her. She can only vent her frustrations in subtle ways while Tushi resorts to insults for publicity, demonstrating her utter lack of decency. Constantly switching between the green tea and straightforward personas, doesn't she fear a backlash? Tansy and Lin Seo are dating? The idol hasn't said a word. What are Lin Seo's fans even talking about? What else could it be? It all started with one photo, and the content is entirely fabricated. That girl is cunning. She merely liked a post and said nothing, allowing her fans to speculate. If it backfires, she can blame it on them. She's nothing but a pristine white lotus. Seeing such insightful comments made me feel compelled to support them, so I liked it. What you're saying is pure conjecture. Even if Tansy and Lin Seo aren't together, the lead and female lead are expected to engage in some publicity during the drama's airing. Tushi, a nobody from outside the industry, can't expect to dine with Tansy just because she played his love interest on screen. Tushi, the green tea bee, should exit the entertainment industry. Previously, Tushi's words were already nauseating. Now she's trying to exploit Tansy? Must she be so despicable? For a hypocritical green tea bee like Tushi, even if she were delivered to the idol's door, he wouldn't want her. Did you not see how Tansy's body language was so resistant in the photo? A barrage of trending topics filled with vitriol. And I was at the center of it all, with the most glaring headline reading, Tushi's character is corrupt. She must leave the entertainment industry. Fuming, I angrily shoved my phone into the microwave, unable to bear the sight of those slanderous remarks any longer. The flames of public opinion surged, escalating into a nationwide online harassment campaign overnight. My agency couldn't contain the situation any longer and ultimately abandoned me. The next morning, my agent kicked open the door to my room. We're terminating your contract. How harsh. I stared blankly at my agent, my disheveled hair a testament to my confusion. You've never generated revenue for the company since signing. Although I hold a fondness for you, I cannot contest the company's decision. Since the online harassment began yesterday, I hadn't dared to check the news, but now the internet was rife with accusations against Tansy's agent for being ineffective and the company's lack of concern. Most people believed I was a stalker, having pursued Tansy before even entering the industry, with ulterior motives. Tushi, the stalker. A woman with such a dark disposition can remain by Tansy's side. The actions of this company are truly disheartening. During the promotional period, 2cc insists on dragging Tansy into the fray. Such behavior has severely impacted Tansy's work, and I strongly demand that the company expel that green tea bimbo from the entertainment industry. I gazed at the screen my manager handed me, stunned to find that overnight I had become a scandalous fan. Is it really that serious? I have become a scandalous fan? I swallowed hard, casting a furtive glance at my manager. After all, I merely sat in Tan C's chauffeur-driven car, which wasn't even private. Lin Sairu has invested heavily, hiring numerous online influencers to stir the pot, inciting negative emotions among fans. Coupled with the backlash from the top-tier celebrity, the company finds itself in a bind. We must part ways amicably, lest Tan C be further embroiled in this mess. My manager's face was etched with exhaustion, her eyes bloodshot from sleepless nights. It was evident that she was overwhelmed by this situation. Before me lay the termination agreement. Previously, I was to pay a penalty. But now the company demanded nothing more than my swift signature to facilitate a peaceful dissolution of our partnership. Signing would mitigate the losses incurred from this incident, allowing me to act without restraint. However, it also meant that my future interactions with Tan C would be significantly diminished. I solemnly inscribed my name, and suddenly, a notification from Weibo popped up. My manager carefully stored the agreement and checked her phone. This was the first time I witnessed the phrase pupil quake materialize in reality. My goodness, what on earth has happened? Tan C's Weibo, typically reserved for business and promotional posts, has never included personal updates, and he has always managed it independently, with the company having little control over his account. Moreover, there was not a single person in his list of follows. Holding the highest status within the company and being a low-maintenance star, his account was largely left unchecked. Yet, unexpectedly, Tan C had posted a vibrant photo of us from our high school days, even pinning it to his homepage. In the picture, two youthful figures beamed. I wore a radiant smile tinged with bashfulness while he affectionately draped his arm around my shoulders, his lips curling in a subtle smile, clearly enjoying the moment. I have known Cece since childhood. She is not a scandalous fan. Clarification: I do not have a girlfriend. I am currently pursuing someone. I have no private contact with Ms. Lin Sairu outside of promotional activities, and I kindly ask her not to disseminate misleading information. Furthermore, regarding the idol drama I am collaborating on with Lin Sairu, had it not been for Shishi's involvement, I would have absolutely declined. I urge fans to pursue their idols wisely.
What?
My manager's eyes widened in disbelief, and I quickly pinched her to prevent her from fainting at my side. The comments beneath this Weibo post were filled with lamentations. Fans were in an uproar. Our idol? No. Lin Sairu is not suitable. And this green tea bimbo is hardly any better. The film emperor and a well-known green tea bimbo are childhood friends? Is this a nightmare? Wait. Could it be that the so-called scandalous fan photos were merely your everyday pictures? The person I adore the most is, with the actress I despise the most? Tan C swiftly replied to the comments. We are not together yet. I am still trying. Excuse me, brother. When have you been trying? How come I was unaware? I looked up to see my manager gazing at me with a mixture of resentment and incredulity. Tan C likes you? How was I not informed? Has he even won over the mother-in-law? My heart skipped a beat. Perhaps I, like you, only just found out? The internet has become a chaotic mess. Sister, shall we take a sip while it's hot? I have harbored feelings for Tan C for a long, long time. After the college entrance examination, I mustered the courage to confess to him. Yet before I could utter a word, he informed me, I am going to film a movie. I simply stared at him, realizing that his path was entirely unrelated to my future plans. They said we were a perfect match, and I too wished to explore a different life. I silently buried the love letter deeper into my pocket, pretending to be nonchalant as I told him, I, too, am about to confess to the boy I have liked for a long time. Then I fled in haste. Before him, I always felt inferior, retreating at the slightest hint of impossibility. As anticipated, he quickly rose to fame, his debut work premiering at Cannes, earning him the title of International Film Emperor. With his exquisitely refined Asian features, he swiftly became the ideal romantic partner in the eyes of women worldwide, with a bright future ahead. He had transformed from the boy next door, within arm's reach, into an international star. By the time I graduated from university, he had already been famous for 4 years, completing his studies and even enrolling in graduate school in the meantime. To the world, he was the epitome of brilliance. My mother worried I would struggle to find a job after graduation, urging me to pursue a teaching certification to become a teacher. Yet I felt a lingering dissatisfaction. And upon learning that Tan C's company was interviewing actors, I recklessly decided to attend. I possessed a decent appearance and an impressive educational background. Although I was not formally trained, I could still enroll in acting classes. I successfully signed with the same company as Tan C, and upon entering the same profession, I reassured myself that he was no longer a distant star. However, my own debut was dismal, despite the company's vigorous marketing efforts and a carefully crafted strategy. I remained obscure, not gaining an ounce of popularity. This collaboration with Lin Sairu only made me feel like a clown. I had never imagined my name would appear alongside Tansie's online, especially in the context of childhood friends and hopeful suitors. Overwhelmed by this unexpected happiness, I was genuinely astonished. Boom. My phone, which I had carelessly placed in the microwave, truly exploded this time. I was forcibly yanked back to reality from my blissful reverie, hearing my manager pleading earnestly with Tansy. This show is currently airing. You stand to lose significantly. The company has invested heavily, anticipating substantial returns. And in a romance drama, if you don't promote the couple, what are you selling? You are at a crucial juncture where you must capitalize on your fame. There is no need to jeopardize everything for an obscure star. The person on the other end of the line remained unyielding, ignoring my manager's impassioned pleas. When she finished speaking, he merely inquired, "Is 2cc beside you?" How did he know? The situation had escalated to such proportions that the company's public relations team could not contain the fallout. They would undoubtedly want someone to take the blame. The company's methods were predictable, and given the circumstances surrounding Shishi, it was certain that I would be terminated and then publicly vilified. Tansy smiled derisively, having long since understood the company's tactics. My manager shot me a glare, exasperated, and thrust the phone into my hands. Why wouldn't he answer my calls? This time, my phone truly felt like it was about to explode. Certain words, once spoken, are destined to manifest in the future, making the importance of discretion paramount. He chuckled softly, reassuring me, "Just wait for me to find you. My work is nearly over." The film was being shot at a nearby studio, and he would arrive in approximately 2 hours. He came alone, holding the signed termination contract, and even brought me a new phone.
Iwan ke alongsit CC.
My manager's forehead twitched, her expression one of barely contained fury. 2cc is an obscure star. Terminating your contract is straightforward. But do you comprehend what you face by doing so? You are the company's mainstay, with numerous business engagements and film offers. What will happen to those if you leave? And the hefty penalty for breach of contract. I glanced curiously at the contract, the penalty amounting to 300 million. Tansy has been with the company since his debut, earning far more than 3 times that amount. How could the remaining year of his contract entail a penalty of 300 million? This is undoubtedly the work of unscrupulous capitalists. I raise my hand, I'll pay it. Excuse me, what concern is it of yours? Do you think I am unaware of how little you've earned since your debut? Your mother is merely a teacher. Where would you procure 300 million? My manager was nearly exasperated, staring at me and Tansy as if we were 2 whimsical children lost in fantasy. My family is, in fact, quite affluent. My mother, though appearing merely as an educator, is a scion of a wealthy family and possesses an immense fortune amounting to several billion. Each year, professional managers visit our home to report on their work, often bringing substantial sums. My father, although residing abroad, is also well off, with a law firm renowned throughout the United States, earning in U.S. dollars. The couple shares a strong bond. Their divorce was a result of a momentary quarrel, and they have regretted it since, neither willing to concede. For all these years, neither has remarried. As the sole fruit of their love, I maintain a close relationship with both my parents, rendering the sum of 300 million rather insignificant to me, merely an allowance for the year. My father, engrossed in work overseas and detached from the entertainment industry, remains oblivious to the years of criticism I have endured since my debut. Otherwise, legal letters would have been dispatched across the internet long ago. Regardless, I can afford it, so it matters little. Tansy, have you given it thought? Even if the matter of the penalty is resolved, what about the future? Are you truly willing to forsake everything you have strived for over the past decade? I gazed at him nervously. Initially, Tansy's curiosity about the industry was evident, but I knew that after all these years, he genuinely loved acting. The company has offered little support beyond orchestrating publicity stunts. With resources, I had to seek out myself. Tansy shrugged indifferently. Our manager, exasperated, observed us both before departing with 2 contracts in hand. Once it was just the 2 of us in the room, I suddenly felt awkward again. Tansy retrieved my phone, which had been damaged, from the microwave, attempting to salvage the SIM card. I chuckled awkwardly, "Brother, thank you for bailing me out today. Otherwise, I would have been utterly berated. However, now everyone mistakenly believes you are pursuing me, and your sacrifice seems rather significant." Having played the role of the green tea girl for several years, I had learned a thing or two about the art of subtlety through company training, and I was now testing the waters. Tansy smiled. What I said was sincere. Do you think I only wish to help you out? My face flushed suddenly, caught off guard by his straightforwardness. I had often fantasized about ambiguous moments alone with him, yet none had ever felt as promising as this. After all,
It was Tansy who took the initiative.
he lifted my chin, compelling me to meet his gaze. Today, having seized the rare opportunity to play the hero, could you not spare a glance at me? Forget that person you have cherished for so long and grant me a chance? After all, you have pined for someone for years without reciprocation. Why not embrace someone who adores you? I was taken aback by his sudden confession, feeling as if my heart had been struck with 1,000 blows. Tushi, I have actually liked you for a long time. Do you know how thrilled I was when your alternate account was exposed? That night, I called and texted you repeatedly. But you ignored me just like during our senior year.
What?
You called me that year after graduation? He nodded earnestly, producing an antique flip phone. Inside were preserved all our messages and a long list of missed calls. That night, my grandmother had mentioned my phone constantly ringing until the battery died, and she helped recharge it, only for it to explode later. I wore a forlorn expression, nearly on the verge of tears. Tansy sighed and softly said, that night, I called to ask if your confession was successful. If not, could you wait for me until I achieved my goals and return to find you? At this moment, I truly broke down in tears. How absurd that, due to my insecurities, we had missed each other for 9 whole years. The person I have always liked has always been you, and only you. I threw my arms around a bewildered Tansy, unabashedly releasing the affection I had buried for years. I had always felt unworthy of him, never daring to voice my feelings. It was you I wished to confess to back then. The love letters were meant for you, and the sentiments expressed on my alternate account were genuine. He appeared equally astonished until I calmed down, and he pointed to his lips. So you truly want to kiss me? What does it taste like? Recalling those few tweets, I felt a sudden wave of shyness. What is it with him? Why does he always play it so straightforward? It's utterly embarrassing. Does he not know what flavor of lip balm he wears? He certainly seems to be teasing me. Now what should I do? Should I just push him onto the bed and kiss him? In a split second, countless thoughts raced through my mind, yet when I opened my mouth, I found myself at a loss for words. I forgot. He steadied my shoulders and suddenly drew us closer. His soft, utterly kissable lips were merely a finger's breadth away. Why not try to recall? With the opportunity presented, a kiss was too good to pass up. I leaned in for a gentle, tentative kiss. I awkwardly touched his lips before pulling away. Do you remember? I shook my head in confusion, but thought to myself, he didn't wear lip balm today. Shall I help you remember? Before I could respond, Tansy grasped the back of my head and kissed me deeply. It was as fervent as that initial kiss on set. I felt as if I were floating on air, and before long, I was utterly disoriented from his kiss. Suddenly, I burst into tears, overwhelmed by the realization that my long-held secret affection had finally found its home, filling me with an overwhelming sense of fulfillment. Was I too rough? Tansy immediately halted, flustered as he tried to comfort me. I buried my face in his arms, holding him tightly. No, I really like you. I truly, truly like you. He reciprocated my embrace. I feel the same. That night, he did not leave, staying by my side as I typed out a heartfelt message, addressing the recent controversies online. I clarified everything, from my initial portrayal as the green tea girl to the reality of my alternate account and the subjects of the criticisms. Thankfully, I had the habit of recording during work, allowing me to compile the evidence and share it. However, I firmly stated that I would not accept Lynn's CEO and her fan slander, labeling me as a homewrecker. I declared that if an apology was not received from the slanderers within 3 days, I would resort to legal measures to protect my rights. After posting on Weibo, Tansy promptly retweeted my original statement, along with a copy of our contract, providing further explanation. The clause mandating a forced publicity stunt with a female lead, Lynn's CEO, was highlighted in red, bolded, and enlarged. This was a supplementary term following the script signing, easily overlooked without careful scrutiny. I have no intention of engaging in publicity stunts. I have resisted the company's demands multiple times and have now initiated contract termination. The act of dismantling a couple in an idol drama would undoubtedly displease many fans. But since Tansy has been in the industry for 9 years without any intimate relationships with women, his fans were already skeptical of this publicity stunt. As a result, when the statement was released, everyone happily accepted it. However, Lin Seo had purchased a considerable amount of online support to continue her attempts at creating ambiguity with Tansy. Yet, with Tansy himself stepping forward to reject her overtures, his fans finally grew bold and engaged in a fierce dispute with Lin Seo's supporters. It was Lin Seo who sought to ride on our best actor's coattails. If the company had not mishandled things, how could that woman have enjoyed her moment for so long? Fans of the couple are deluded. Tansy has been a best actor since his debut. Does he need to resort to publicity stunts? Am I the only one who thinks Tushi and Tansy are a perfect match? After so many years of obscurity, this little green tea has never thought of leveraging the best actor as a childhood friend to gain attention. She only dares to fantasize secretly on her alternate account. ISNT, the subtlety of their feelings quite compelling. Tushi's heartfelt message was quite clear. The green tea persona was the company's creation. She is nothing like that in reality. My public image improved overnight, and the online harassment I faced ceased. Lin Seo's side quickly released a statement claiming she had never intended to engage in a publicity stunt with Tansy, asserting it was all for the sake of promoting the drama. However, upon releasing the statement, her comment section collapsed entirely. No way, no way, the best actor exposed you. And you say it was for drama promotion? Previously, what could be said about the CP fans' remarks and the deliberate display of matching outfits with Tansy? Was it merely unrequited affection, attempting to latch onto something? Moreover, let us not forget her brazen act of stepping onto the car of the film emperor in front of fans. That photograph of Chue Suixi as the third party was certainly staged with intent at that time, was it not? Which production's promotional efforts necessitate such extremes? Remember, the boyfriend is surrounded by green tea admirers. Dear sister, are you not perpetually showcasing your close relationship with Tansy? How can you now possess the audacity to claim it was all for publicity? The relationship is one where Suixi masquerades as green tea, only to encounter a genuine green tea. The connection between her and the film emperor is one of childhood friends, while you are the one coercing the emperor into a CP. How audacious indeed. Lin Seiru never anticipated that her comment section would so swiftly descend into chaos. Unable to clarify the situation, she could only delete her Weibo and feign ignorance. The original company only stated that the contractual terms mentioned by Tansy were inconsistent with the facts, and they threatened to sue us for defamation, claiming damage to their corporate image. I promptly called my father. Dad, someone is threatening to sue your beloved daughter and son-in-law. As the founder of a prestigious law firm catering to Wall Street magnates, my father took decisive action, leading to a total defeat for the original company. This also spared us from the $300 million in termination fees associated with Tansy. The idol drama, which had forced a partnership with Lin Seiru, utterly flopped, attracting a torrent of online criticism. After all, the leading lady's acting was so subpar that it was hardly bearable, even failing to match her fabricated emotional displays while promoting the CP outside of the drama. Following our successful contract termination with Tansy, numerous companies extended olive branches to us. However, wary of being exploited by another agency and with no financial constraints, we decided to establish our own studio to serve our own interests. Tansy gained absolute control over the scripts, free from capital's coercion, and no longer needed to engage in superficial CP promotion with female artists. Our endeavors flourished remarkably. I no longer needed to feign green tea. Instead, I aspired to become a vibrant force in the entertainment industry, and paradoxically, I found myself gaining popularity. Suixi is living an abstract life. Tansy must be incredibly happy at home, especially with such a delightful treasure around. The typically low-profile film emperor now occasionally made his presence known, promptly responding to this comment. Of course, if you knew who my wife is, you would undoubtedly be envious. Since when did such a serious man start indulging in humor? Fans, seizing the moment, pressed on. So, what does the film emperor's lips taste like? Are they truly that delightful to kiss? Tansy swiftly tagged me. Let my wife enlighten you. I glanced at the man beside me, flushed, and decided, I'll draw 1,000 orange-flavored lollipops for everyone to sample. Fans gleefully responded. In other words, I'm among those who have tasted the film emperor's flavor. The end of the text is complete. Thank you for listening. If you enjoyed it, please consider subscribing and liking to support us.
Until we meet again in the next story.